to me is wealth that has been accumulated from their ancestors, but their ancestors are usually the ones that aren't the ones that built it, but built off of POC ancestors, in my own definition, from what I see. Because not many POC people have that type of wealth, as you can see in many people's neighborhoods and communities. It's usually a white person. You can see it in gentrification around us and even in schools nowadays. But generational wealth is basically hard work that isn't really your own hard work.
This campaign to create awareness to generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhoods Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Different rules apply when it gets this late, you know what I mean? It's like after hours.
Whatever gets you through the night.
Hello, I'm an unpaid spokesman for DJ Sotovaci. I'd like to invite you to listen to his free-form music show. It's popular music the way it was never intended to be heard. Whatever gets you through the night, late nights, here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Whatever gets you through the night.
Rainier Avenue Radio presents All Music, All Day Saturday. Music, All Day Saturday.
This is Edward Bailey, Bulldog Blue.
Jazz from the Cabinets.
That's right. It's time once again for Jazz from the Cabinets. Big Pop.
Start time.
Thanks for tuning in. My name is Paul. This is Start Time.
Saturdays, all music, all day. Reggae hour, K-Fox night.
Looking for the perfect beat? Yeah, it's the beat of the block.
Fresh juice, the money in it.
Myself, Blue Money. Nice size phone.
Taylor Hart.
Sincere, the Northwest Rap Gang.
DJ Medina. Jackson. Northwest Rap Gang.
Sergio Lacour's Love Line.
It's Sergio's Love Lines with Sergio LaCour. Go to the phone line. Tell him who we talking.
Sea Monster Radio, Mojang. It's your jam.
Emoji Mondays. This is KZ Music Media. Caller Goddess for Emoji Mondays.
Just like God is inspiration all day and all night. Saturdays on Rainier Avenue Radio.
Welcome to the coronavirus pandemic.
I'll take coronavirus for 100. Fever, chills, shortness of breath, loss of taste or smell. What is staying home and isolate?
Correct. Coronavirus for 200.
Inability to stay awake, persistent pain or pressure in chest, double breathing. What is seek immediate help?
Coronavirus for 500.
Crippling and potentially dead infectious disease eliminated in the United States with vaccination.
What is the polio vaccine? I'll take coronavirus for 700.
The Daily Double! Should I take the coronavirus vaccine? Wait. Hold up. This is not a game. It's time for serious discussions. We have coronavirus vaccines, but not everyone is comfortable taking them. Here's the facts. Based on what has been proven about vaccines for other diseases, COVID-19 vaccine may help keep you from getting seriously ill, even if you do get the virus. Getting vaccinated also may protect people around those at greater risk of severe COVID-19. We don't yet have all of the answers. Get informed, talk to your healthcare physician, and make the right decision for you. This is a message supported by the Washington State Department of Health.
Rainier Avenue
Radio. Seattle's best dog and sports station.
Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us once again. Real estate and money, where we talk about everything real estate and money. We're coming to you today. We're going to be talking about Juneteenth and what it means in the African-American community and for all home buyers out there in the first place. We do also have some guests today. We've got some very special guests that are going to be helping us talk about Juneteenth, but they're also going to be talking to us about fix and flips. So if you're interested out there, if you're interested in finding out how you can take a house that you see down the block or maybe across state, and it needs some fixing and a little bit of loving, and after you give it some love and some fixing, then actually it can flip and turn around. You can actually sell it for a profit. So we're going to be talking about that today. So everybody, if you have time right now, go ahead and call your friends, call your family members, have them to tune into us right now so we can talk about real estate and money and how you can actually obtain a loan. So first of all, let's kick it off by talking about Juneteenth. What is Juneteenth? And let me go ahead and just read it right here from the internet. Juneteenth marks the day in 1865 when enslaved people in Galveston, Texas found out that they had been freed. So it is a celebration of life. It's a celebration of freedom. It's a celebration of independence. And it's actually a celebration that is all-comforting, encompassing all United States Americans, because freedom is also very, very important in the United States. And this is marking the demarcation of us actually jumping over from slavery into the world of freedom and how this affects us. So we have some people here. I know that there are, we're waiting for Violeta Strash to actually sign on.
I'm here.
There she is. Lovely Violeta. How are you, V?
I'm good. I'm good. Yes, I'm glad. I was looking for my Juneteenth stuff, and you're already covering it, so we're good.
We're good. Okay, good. Okay. Well, right now, it's very important for us to recognize that home buying is for everybody. It's not just privy to one certain race or type or creed. Actually, people from the African-American community, the Asian community, the Hispanic community, they've all been fighting to get homes. And right now, unfortunately, it's one of the lowest points in U.S. history for African-American home ownership. So that is a challenge that we have to overcome and we need to talk about. But anyways, let's talk about Juneteenth. So Violeta, are there any celebrations in Seattle regarding Juneteenth?
There are, and I'm going to read this
Okay.
because I just want to make sure I get it correctly. And you've already talked about the history of it, but here locally at the Northwest African American Museum, which has long been central to Seattle's annual Juneteenth celebrations, they recently announced a new addition to this year's week of festivities around the metro area. So for the first time on the West Coast, the touring Emmett Till and Mamie Till Mobley, Let the World See, that exhibit will open to the public at the Northwest African American Museum from June 13th through the end of December. So visitors can view this exhibit for free on Juneteenth. So tomorrow, all day free. And then the exhibit highlights the story of Emmett Till and his mother, Mamie Till Mobley, whose demands that the nation witness how white supremacists brutally tortured and murdered her son in 1955 in Mississippi. And it was part of a ripple effect that helped fuel the civil rights movement. So that's a big and important event. And as far as Rainier Avenue Radio.world is concerned, Atlantic Street Center, Juneteenth celebration this Saturday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. live broadcast, again from the Atlantic Street Center. So come see the station live. And then we have Make Music Day this Friday, all day on Friday at the Columbia City Theater. There will be live musical performances all day. So be sure to stop by and listen to some wonderful music all day long. All right, there you have it.
Great. So here in Denver, we're having a lot of celebrations. Actually, this past weekend, there was a Juneteenth celebration in 5 Points. It's a 2-day event. I went and I ate so much food. I drank so much liquor. It was there was so much dance. There was so many bands. So the whole week actually was Juneteenth here in Denver. And we also have some celebrations today in Denver going on until the evening. And then tomorrow, of course, is a federal holiday. So there's a lot of events going on tomorrow that I'll be attending. But it actually is a giant celebration. And it's something that everybody can get involved in. Everybody can get involved in. Just like everybody gets involved in Cinco de Mayo, they get involved in a Chinese New Year. Juneteenth is something where everybody should be involved in. Now, Daniel, could you please really bring up that the chart that I just sent you if you have? What I want to bring up right now, let me see here. I want to talk about home ownership in the African-American community. And this chart that Daniel's going to bring up, it kind of illustrates what's going on. Right now, 44% of all American households, African-American households, actually the rate is 44%. It increased from 2019 to 2021 by only 2 points. So if you look at this chart here, you'll see the black line demarcates the African-American community. And the yellow line is the Hispanic community. The red line is the white community. And all others is the dark blue line. The Asian Pacific Islanders is green. So they actually started looking at this just not too long ago. As of 2015, they started looking at the Asians. But you see right here, there's a large gap
Yes.
African American home ownership and the white community, the Asian community, the Hispanic community, and all other races. So this is something that is a challenge, and it's something that we have to overcome. We have to still work towards. I mean, what is going on? What is going on? Is it a matter of approval process? It's a matter of education. It's of us educating the communities. Is it a matter of us actually serving that community? So, so this is something that we really have to challenge and look towards in the home ownership realm. So our guest today, Jeffrey Abraham, is going to come on. He's going to talk about his reactions to the community and what's going on. So Viola, I don't know if everybody knows out there, but I am half Black. So this is part of my community too. But Jeffrey, so if we can bring Jeffrey on, I believe Jeffrey is with Amy, and they're going to come on and talk to us about fast fix and flips. Hi, Amy, how are you?
Hi, Tina, I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Fine. So now is Jeffrey on too? Is he coming on?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Great. So he's going to talk to us a little bit about what he sees in the African American community, and he speaks all these different languages, and he's a very, very, very talented gentleman, and he has seen it all. So we want to get his take on everything. So Amy, how are you?
I'm doing well. I believe Jeffrey, he's going to be on. You won't see his face.
Okay.
So
great.
Yes.
So Jeffrey, are you on? Can you talk? Oh.
Can you hear us, Jeffrey?
Okay. He'll be on a little bit, huh? Okay.
We can, I guess.
Okay, we'll just move on. He's probably like me last week. I was fiddling with some buttons there. But so Amy, so tell us a little bit about what you do, about your company.
So this is for Fast Money for Flips, is the name of the company. Mm-hmm. And we help real estate investors to do the funding for their financing of real estate investment properties. Mm-hmm. So we do things like rehab loans and construction loans, which are short-term financing options that is designed to free up capital for the renovation or ground-up construction of investment properties.
Okay.
And then I believe Jeffrey, he was going to talk about some other things as well, but also what I was going to mention is that we do, for those interested in a long-term financing, we provide for rental loans. So we can do, these are perfect for like rental property investors that are looking to finance single properties or portfolios. Or they can even refinance to stabilize their terms or take cash out if they want to do that whole method, repeat. So buy, rehab, refinance, repeat. So,
okay, great. So talk to us about these fast money fix and flips. Tell us, what is a fix and flip? Just tell us what that is.
So a fix and flip is a property that usually is distressed. It's a distressed property. And so you can buy it at a better, lower rate. And then you will take the construction side of it, or the rehab money, and you will fix it up and then make it a nice home for, you can, at that point, you can do a cash out refi for the refinance, or you can just flip it, sell it.
Okay.
But yes.
Okay, so in other words, Jeffrey, are you there?
He's testing.
Okay, test. We can hear you testing, Jeffrey.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get started here. Hello, everybody. Thank you. And I hope everybody have a great Juneteenth coming up. Since I am African American, a lot of people don't know that during in the last part of the 1800s, Texas was one of the last states in the Union to be free from slavery. That's where Juneteenth comes from. Okay, they were the last state to basically get their freedom, and that's when they got their freedom. We as Americans, all of our Americans, we are born here, we are raised here. We should go out and basically always represent who we are as a people. And I don't care if you're Latino, cuando usted soy Latino, I don't care if you're from Germany or whatever country you are from, we are all human beings here on God's earth. And we should treat each other with respect, and everybody should have the same opportunities and the same chance. And basically, that's what Tina and her partner are talking about.
Yeah, thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you.
Yes. So Jeffrey comes from a point of view where, as an African American man doing loans, he sees a lot of things, and so Jeffrey, that's why it's such a blessing to have you on the show today. Timing is all divine, right?
Right.
But so the fix and flips, Amy was telling us about the fix and flips, and she was defining what a fix and flip is. So tell us in your words, just in a nutshell, what you tell people is a fix and flip.
Amy, go ahead.
I gave my version of a distressed property that needs rehab. Yeah.
Basically, a fix and flip is very easy because we in the next couple of weeks we're going to start having some classes to teach people about fix and flips and all the guidelines. I think when you know the underwriter guidelines and how it works, you will be able to do well in also the steps, the sequence. We call it the flow chart. What you do first. A fix and flip is basically your realtor might come to you and say, hey, I got this house and you can get it for $120,000, but it needs about $40,000 of work. So that's $160,000 the loan amount. After it is fixed up, then after that, it'll be worth $300,000. So that's a very good deal. So on a fix and flip, basically we'd take you all the way up to a 90% of the purchase price. That's all based on your experience. We look at two factors. We look at your experience and we look at credit. If you have 1 to 2, you will probably get an 85% loan. If you have 3 to 5, you'll probably get a 90% loan on your purchase. And we always do 100% of the rehab budget. So that $120,000, you would basically pay if you got say between 3 to 5 on the $120,000, you will pay 10% of that. That'd be $12,000 down, and then the $108,000 would be your loan amount. Then we'll add that $40,000 to the rehab budget, so you'll have a loan amount of $148,000, and you remember you're selling it for $300,000. So a lot of people get a fix and flip loan for a total. We have a couple programs, one for 12 months, another program for 18 months, and another program for 24 months. It depends on how big the project is.
Right. Well, thanks for clarifying that, because a lot of people think it's a 30-year mortgage.
No,
but it's not that, correct?
It's just a 12-month, 18 months, or 24 months, and it's always interest only. Okay? You get interest only. And let me explain one of the main things about fix and flips where people get a little confused. Now, on your rehab budget, when you got $40,000 of your rehab budget being put on hold on the side, we give you that on draws. But you have to start off with your own money fixing up that fix and flip. So let's say you got $7,000 after you done got the loan. You put that $7,000 in. After that is finished, we have a inspector that will come out and inspect the $7,000 worth of work that you have completed. They will sign off on that, and then you can come back and say, I want $15,000 from the draw from my budget. So from that point all the way to the end, you would draw from the rest of your money from that $40,000.
Okay. So great. So really quick, Amy, really quick, what type of people do you see when you take these loans? What's your typical fix and flip client?
So typically you find that you want to have the ARV, the after repair value, be a lot higher than what you're purchasing it for. Because when we say 90%, it's 90% of the cost of the loan, but then it's also only 70% of the after repair value. So you have to make sure you factor that into that when you're considering which flip.
So Amy, what time frame do you see somebody from getting the application and getting it done to closing? What do you typically see? Is it 4 months? Is it 6 months? Is it all various?
That's why you want to go through fast maker flips, because it's a lot faster that way. We can close typically within about 3 weeks. Sometimes faster, sometimes it might take a little bit longer. It depends on how quickly all the docs get back to you. And when I say docs, you have to have it under your LLC. And then you'll have your operating agreement, and then your construction rehab, you need to see a list of that. So typically 3 weeks is average.
Okay, so when you said LLC, can an individual buy it, or do you recommend them actually getting an LLC structured?
I recommend everyone to get an LLC structured.
Okay, good. This is good. Okay, so
Amy, what are the demographics of the people that come to you for these loans? Are they mainly men? What age group?
You'd be surprised at how many women you see, but yes, mainly men. Yes,
a lot of women. Huh?
I actually myself started out as an investor, and that's
a lot of couples too.
realizing, actually, I had so many things that came across my way that was a huge surprise to me because people didn't explain things the way I would have needed it, or I felt like I needed it to be explained. So that's kind of the process that brought me here. That's what I went through that made me want to become a broker for fix and flips or for hard money for investors, so I can help, especially the newbies, help them and guide them along the way so they don't have any surprises. So we're very transparent about what they're going to.
So I'm glad you brought that up. So Jeffrey, really quick, a lot of people, when I do a loan, they say, what's the interest rate? What's the interest rate? Now, with the fix and flips, of course, the interest rate is not going to be your 30-year fix that you're going to see on CNN or whatever. It's going to be a much more expensive interest rate. However, the cost of funds, as opposed to the profit at the end of the day, is actually what really counts. So, Jeffrey, can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, basically, you're looking at, we are going anywhere from, right now, you're looking at about 10 and a quarter all the way up to 12, almost 13% interest only, okay, on that. But you have to remember, it's a short-term loan. A lot of guys, they are getting fix and flips. They probably get the house fixed up in 2 months, the longest 3 months, and they have it sold in the first, say, 30 to 60 days. So they're holding that loan for about 5 months. Okay.
So it's a whole different animal. So Amy, can you speak to that? When you talk to people and they say, oh my gosh, 13%, I mean, what is your response to them to understand this is a business endeavor?
That does actually come up a lot, and I tell them not to worry about it. You do have to you have to consider it. You have to consider what your monthly payments are. But because it's so short term, it really doesn't matter all that much. Unless you have like huge, like the multi-million-dollar purchases, it's not going to be that much. So you just factor that into your profit loss situation. Figure out it'll be a little bit less of a profit, but you factor that into it when you make the choice on which house you're going to purchase as well.
This is nice. So Violeta, do you get people sometimes who come up and they ask for fix and flips, or they have visions of doing that?
Yes, I have a few that you and I are working on, actually. And they do. They want to come in and try to get a loan for as low as they can to purchase something, in the $300,000 to $400,000 range. And I don't know how long it's going to take to close deal. How long does it take to close these fix and flips?
I would like
because they want to get started. They want to get started, with the rehab.
Let me give you an example. I just took a quote, lady. The first step we do, and this one kind of give you the flow chart. Basically, I took a quote of a lady this morning, and so now what she's giving me over is all her LLC information, her experience, how many deals she got under her belt, and she's giving me over her credit report. And then after that, what I'll do, after I get the quote, she'll sign off on the quote, and I'll order the appraisal tomorrow. And then after that, the appraisal will be out there in the next 3 to 5 days, and we'll close her before the end of the month. And today is the 18th.
Wow.
Yeah. So am I right? So Amy, am I right? When we do mortgages, 30-year mortgages, people look at the rate as the cost of money. But when you're doing a fix and flip, it's a whole different animal. It's not really the rate. It's how much money, whether the loan is $800,000 or $200,000. It's your profit margin and your cost opposed to your profit margin. So Amy, can you speak a little bit to that?
That's exactly right. So you're not so worried about the interest rate because it is so short term. So you just definitely make sure you have the profit in there. So there are certain formulas you can do. And so you just take the price of the house, the price of the rehab, and then there's certain formulas. It's different for everyone, has different things, So, but one thing is you take the price of the house, the after repair value, and then you add it, and then you just so you take that and then you add that together, and then you times 10%, and that's kind of one way to do it. And then you just take that, because that's about what the cost of the loan and everything's going to cost you. So you subtract that from the ARV value, and that's what that would be.
So in other words, you can go into a house, it may be $12,000 for the kitchen, $8,000 for the whatever, and then another $5,000 for the stairs. And then the cost of your loan is going to cost $12,000. So you put that all into the mix. In other words, instead of saying, what's the rate? Because I think that's where a lot of people, where me and Violeta are at in our realm, we'll have someone who says, I want to rehab. And what can you do? And the moment I say, oh, it's 8% or higher, and they freak out, But the disconnect would be like if you have a realtor like Violeta and somebody says they want a rehab loan, they can talk to me and I can do whatever, 30-year fix, or they can talk to Fast Money for flips, and you can actually tell them what it would cost to buy this house and fix it and flip it. And then they just actually keep doing it over and over again. Am I correct, Amy?
Yes, and part of that
They just
10%
keep
that
going
I'm talking about, that would include, like, if you have a realtor that lists it, that includes their fees, the mortgage fees, it kind of includes everything. So it's just kind of a rule of thumb. That's not accurate for everybody or every situation.
Right.
But you just want to kind of figure out.
But am I correct though? Once people do a loan with you and they figure it out the first time, is it quite typical for them to continue to do fix and flips?
Absolutely. They see their return on investment. So once they see that makes you hungry for it, makes you want to keep going and going.
Wow. Okay. Great. So this is good. So Amy, so let's say you're talking to Violeta and she's got a bunch of clients who say, I want to fix and flip. I don't know where to start. So what advice would you give to Violeta or other realtors like her?
Well, first you have to find the property. So that's the hard part, is finding the property. And there's ways to do. They have wholesalers out there, and then they have just like you can just look on Zillow for sell by owner. You can even look in Craigslist. You might find them. And sometimes you just see an investor special on Zillow or listed. But that's one way to start. And then just letting everyone know that you are a property investor and that you buy investment properties, and just get it out there. And then sometimes people might have to just relocate and they remembered that, oh, so-and-so said that they're an investor. Let me call them because I don't have time to list my house in the market. Mm-hmm. So that's one way to acquire. So that's the first thing, is just finding the right property. That's the hardest part, is finding the right property. And that's probably what takes longer than anything. Finding the right, acquiring the right property.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
That's where sometimes the realtors, there's some realtors that are friendly, investor friendly. And so it's good to have a realtor on your team. Well.
Yeah, well, let me ask you really quick. Okay, there's a difference between a house just being bare bones and it's just completely dilapidated, let's say a hurricane or something. And then there's some that just needs, it's just ugly, it's cosmetically ugly. So where do the fix and flips come in? What percent of the houses do we have?
Those are my favorite, the ones that you just need to put lipstick on the pig,
Yes.
Paint job, maybe get new appliances. So, but as far as, you have to make sure there's good bones in the house. And there's a couple things. You want to make sure you want to know how the roof is doing, the HVAC units, but something that makes sure the plumbing is good, make sure the plumbing is up to code, and the electricity, the electrician side, make sure that's all up to code. And then you get a couple of those basics, the plumbing and electric, then if those are good, then everything else is kind of a piece of cake.
So if you get a house, in other words, it's just so ugly, it's just too ugly. It's just too ugly. The client really needs to say, hey, the realtor really needs to say, not this house. We need to go further.
Not necessarily if it's just ugly. If it's only cosmetics that it means, and that's what I'm saying. That's my absolute favorite.
Like cosmetics good, but I mean like when it's really, really dilapidated.
Yeah, so if it's like it needs to be condemned, I've learned the hard way. It's not. I mean, It's fun, like the HGTV stuff, and we can make it look great, but that's going to really eat away your profit. So,
and you would say to stay away from you're walking up to a house and you see that it's bowed, coming down in the middle, and it's like you should turn around and walk away, right?
You have a really good
foundation issue.
Yeah, you want to have a really good team. You already know someone that can do leveling. Yes, even then, so maybe just walk away.
So really quick before
the fact, if you can buy it and just tear it down and start over, but then you have to make sure they're going to sell it to you at the cost of the loss.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So really quick, before we leave, I know Jeffrey, just 2 seconds. You do manufacture homes on properties, correct, and put it together in a construction package?
Yeah, let me kind of just go over that right now. I'm basically working together with Casablanca Realty Homes here in Denver, Colorado. We are starting off here in Colorado, Phoenix, in Georgia, and a few other places where that we are going and talking to landowners. There's a lot of landowners that have what we call shovel-ready land. Basically, that land has a parcel number and also it has an address. But a lot of those landowners right now, people buying a piece of land, they look at it just as dirt. So we have came up and partner up with one of the home builders. I'm not going to say the name right now. We can keep that quiet for a while. And we have an exclusive agreement with the home builder where that we are going to take manufactured homes and we are going to do a joint venture with the landowner and now add a sign of 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot home, or a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 square foot home, and the prices are going to be anywhere from 280 all the way up to 400,000. It'd be affordable, but now they own their own land instead of have to go out and manufactured home. Normally they go out and they lease a piece of land and they pay $900 a month forever. In this situation, we have put the landowners together with the manufactured home builders together, and now you'll be able to buy a house with your own land.
This is sweet. So we're going to come back and talk to him about that. But Amy, give your phone number really quick in case somebody wants to go. Oh, that's it right there.
Yes,
go ahead and say your phone number, Amy.
Yes, 720-897-0467. So I didn't know if there's a way to put it in the comments or not. But
Okay, no. Her number is 720-897-0467. And that's Amy Pratt at Fast Home for Flips. Her and Jeffrey Abram. You can actually Google it if you want to get more information. But thank you so much, Jeffrey. Thank you so much, Amy, for coming on.
You're welcome.
Thank you both.
For your time.
Okay. See you all next week.
See you all next week. Thank you.
Bye-bye.